Shine. And we today are talking about expectations and such celebrations. And I'm sure you all know I love celebration because my Friday posts are all about celebrations. What says you, Beatrice?
I say hello to everyone, and it's such a joy to see you and to have the opportunity to meet you in this wonderful sunny spring day. It's not so sunny in my room, but it's sunny outside, and I look forward to go and spend the day as much as I can in the sunshine. You are watching Energy Alignment Show, and I'm one of your hosts. My name is Beatrice from Mind, Body, and Soul Align. Our show is all about tips and guidance and suggestions on how to look at the energy we are made of and part of. We also have an integrative approach. So, whatever modality you might use to get in alignment with your energy, that will match our discussion. So, please feel free to drop any questions in the comments or, feel free to uh, be with us live. That would be even much more interactive. Uh, Stephanie already mentioned our topic, which is expectations to celebrations.
I'm
And
really
I
looking
think
forward
it's
to it.
a good time to talk about these. I'm going to come up with the background energy in a minute, but I'll let Stephanie to tell you more a little bit about how um, it's her approach to expectations and celebrations.
So, for those of you that know me, I'm all about getting focused and making a difference. So, expectations is setting targets, or it's such a corporate word, targets, isn't it? Goals, targets, big why, compelling vision, whatever you want to call it, it's whatever we're working towards. And I'm a big believer in having milestones as you go along so that you can acknowledge how far you've come, and then you celebrate, you release those dopamines and you celebrate. And for celebration, it can be anything from a dance around the kitchen table, which I do regularly, to, to going and spending a night in Raffles in Singapore, which is something that I did in my corporate world as an incentive. So it can be anything in between. But I am a big believer in celebrating when we've achieved those expectations.
Mm, mm,
So
okay.
it's good. It's good, and it can be any. It can be. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can just be a nice bath with a candle. It can be anything. But do recognise how far you've come. We spend that much time looking forwards. We forget how far we've actually travelled. So it's nice to celebrate just how far we've come.
And that's a fantastic point you made. That's we tend to get caught into everyday tasks and chores and life, and forget to celebrate.
Mm.
Um, Now, what I want to say, why did I choose this topic? So the energy around us, the sun is impacting us in the gate 42, and those who already read my energy tips that I post every 5.7 days when the sun moves from one gate to another. Probably you are familiar with the theme of this energy, which is it is an energy of growth, yeah, but it brings a theme of completion,
Yeah.
yeah, and that means to complete a cycle before starting a new one, and complete the cycle not because you are forced by something or you the mind necessarily tells you to complete it, but to release that energy to be used into whatever new you would like to start, and to move on from this cycle of completing and restarting. You might consider probably to um, let go of the idea of completing something. You never know. I mean, you know best. I wouldn't know what happens in your life, and you know best what happens. So it might be the case that you were put into, forced by whatever situations to get into completing a task, which practically proves that it's not working. You feel stuck. You feel that you force yourself mentally to get into that, and it's just a matter of having the transparency and, bottom line, the respect and the understanding for yourself to see the real thing. So what happens there? Because it might be exactly to let go of the idea to complete something, because it, you know, it wasn't even meant to be. It wasn't you. You might have not entered into it in the right way at the right time. So it's really very nuanced energy here, and the completion of a cycle to start a new one um, brings the idea of expectation, isn't it? Because when you want to start a new one, there are some expectations there, and we are taught in our society to kind of like write down some goals or some intentions or that kind of stuff, which, yes, okay, I understand, I've done it, they can motivate us, but how much are we stuck with those? How much are we attached to those? Because if we are in a cycle that it looks like it doesn't go anywhere, and I don't even have the energy to finish it, to complete it yet, although the sun is just helping you to do this right now, these days, it might have been because your expectations were so strong that you kind of like got entangled into them. I'm not saying that they were not realistic. That's not the language I want to use. But you might probably found yourself thinking in that direction, because yes, we are all in one way or another, more or less, we absorbing the energy of the collective and the way that we use certain phrases in certain situations.
Mhm.
But this, I want to be specific for you and to think of this, to start to feel it, to let it feel, to see where you are with that task or project that you might feel you are stuck on it, and what do you need to do? Do you need to complete it and use this energy to complete it, or do you need to let it go?
I think that's a really, really great perspective because I do operate in a masculine energy, a very much an action taking, doing type of thing, but I do have a woo woo side too. And when you feel as though you're pushing water uphill,
Ah,
then then you're probably not working from your heart, from your energy. And when we're in flow, then it feels so much better and we're not pushing water uphill. Now, I've been in a situation this last, I don't know, 4 weeks where I've wanted to do something and it has felt like ploughing through treacle. It's been really hard work. And suddenly things have started to drop into place. And I've got up this morning and I'm actually moving forward.
mm-hmm,
And you're saying about the energy and the lights, and you know I don't have a great understanding like you do. That's part of our brilliance, is you have a depth and I have a novice approach, but we sort of gel on it, and it's great because I learn so much talking with you. But when you're coming from your heart rather than your head, life is a lot easier.
well, we all feel the easiness. I mean, for some, and I totally, I mean, get you with, yeah, you are novice into human design, but you have so much experience on coaching and business coaching, and you come up with fantastic comparisons and figures of speech and practical things. And yes, it's a brilliant combination, and I am very grateful that we are able to do this. We follow our calls and we do this. It's fantastic. What I want to highlight is the fact that uh, from human design point of view, and I want everyone to look at themselves, yeah, to to feel inside. Not everything comes uh, um, from the heart. I mean, the authority, I'm talking about the energy that pulls you in that ease, in that flow you were talking about. It's not for everyone coming from the heart. I mean, we generally feel it there because of the center of attraction, but it might come from below the heart. It might come from the hara area, where, as we call it in our in the energy alignment method, isn't it? Or it might come from the emotional side, or it might come from the spleen, or it might come um, really from the willpower. Yeah.
Yes.
So there are different areas, and they are very nuanced. It's good to know for yourself what is your um, strategy and authority to feel your body, because the intelligence of the body is not so much talked about, and we are with even the helix of our DNA. There are two strains, aren't they? So
Mhm.
we are a result of two consciousness, the soul and the body. The mind is just as a result of interaction of these two, or juxtaposition of these two. So we are fantastic, intelligence, evolved beings, but we really need to understand what's in the body and how the body has intelligence to, well, to repair, to heal. We are I mean, once we start to know this, we would be able to train our mind to let the body do what it needs to do, and to guide us in the direction that will feel in flow and in ease for us. And that's bottom line, from those expectations that might be at the mental level, should I do this, or I do expect so much from me. If we don't reach, because the reality, let's be honest, it's unexpected. I mean, unexpected is all over the place. There's nothing certain. The only thing is certain is the change. Yeah, so
Yes.
things are changing. This is how that's the natural way of evolution of life on in cosmos. Bottom line, yeah. So if we set some expectations and it turns out life it's different to our expectations, we end up with disappointments and being hurt. So wherever you are in this process, just um, our advice is to have a look of where exactly you are, and take those steps into releasing what you might need to release, that disappointment, and maybe admit there were not the right expectations. I mean, if you want to say something, I can just stop now because I'm
So, what's going through my head at the moment is you're talking about cycles. Totally understand that. I get that because your son's going round with your human design stuff. But what's going through my head is the cycle of life.
Mhm.
And I'm listening to what you're saying and I'm thinking about how we are. So, when we are younger, sort of up to our teens, we are unconfident and we're smaller and quieter and we're trying things. And when we get to the other end of life and we've got life's experience, we can be a bit cantankerous and we can say what we think, and sort of there's the two phases in the middle where you're gaining your confidence and then you're totally there. And then you get to the older years as well. And it's really interesting listening to you talking about listening to our bodies, because even in the cycle of life we're listening because we are not so confident, and then we've been there, done that, got the t-shirt at the other end of our lives. And it's really quite interesting listening to you and then me being my brain applying it to things so I can try and understand it. So thank you for sharing that, Beatrice. You are a star. I learned so much when we talk.
Well, it's human design, is gene keys. Gene keys, it's a different approach, and they come with the aspect of a shadow, a dilemma, and um, city is called the um, a shadow, a gift, and a city, which is kind of like the quality of the energy, because
Right.
each each feeling that we have, it's related to a certain type of energy that and you have to consider it's about a spectrum. There is a polarity there. It's in between the shadow and the gift, yeah. And then the city comes in relation to both, like that white dot in the yin and yang
Yes.
sign, you know,
Yes.
because you can
Yes.
find it in both, in the
Mhm.
black, the white
Mhm.
dot in the black, and the black dot in the white, yeah. So it's there exactly the contrast and the most pure frequency of that energy of the celebration. So in the theme that I wanted to discuss today, the expectations were much more related with the shadow, and the celebration with a gift or with a city, and how we move from that, and how even to discuss it in which way to set our expectations and to have hopes and dreams, and it's perfectly fine, but in such a way that to be able to detach from them if they don't happen in the real life. Because if we don't, we are like in a Shakespeare's drama, isn't it? I mean, we are able to feel and get hurt all the spectrum of emotions on the planet,
Mhm.
and not knowing that the position to support ourselves is to detach from those expectations. It's very hard, it's very difficult. Once you know, you can start to experiment with it, and see, okay, I'm able to, yeah, even if I set those expectations, they were whatever, release the blame, release the whatever disappointment comes with it, and move from that point of a now, rather than to, to think of something uncertain that's going to happen or not in the future, because it's bottom line, it's a 50-50 chance, isn't it?
Mm. Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, we don't know what's round the corner. We can lay all the best play. We can have all the best laid plans,
Mm.
but we just don't know what's going to happen. We've just got to play each event as it comes through, and we can choose whether to go off skew or carry on. You know, there's lots of things that can come along and send us in a different direction, isn't there?
Absolutely. And I want to say from my experience, I had huge expectations from myself and huge expectations from others. I mean, I remember discussions I had with my cousin, for example, 20, 30 years ago. She was like, oh, you have such high expectations from people. Well, if I can do it, why can't they do it, you know? Well, as you said, getting older, things change. I mean, yes, you can get be cantankerous, but you can gain wisdom, and I very much am really towards that. I mean, I'm moving in that direction, because I would have loved to know about all these things, energy, when I was 20 years old or even younger. So,
So would I.
or
Yeah.
my parents to know, so they would be able to understand me and to raise me in such a way that I, I, I don't have to decondition now. So how
Mhm.
wonderful this would be for the children, for the children of the future, to learn from their parents that they are different from their parents, and the parents to learn that their children are different. There are, of course, there are elements of similarities, and that's the, genetic inheritance, for sure. But the way, the mechanics of energy behind each and every one of us are unique.
Mhm.
And for
Yeah.
this reason, I'm really grateful that I found these teachings, and I can understand myself, and I can stop blaming myself, and I stop expecting from me something that I'm not designed for it. So what a relief. There was, oh my God.
And link that to the inner critic, and you're absolutely snookered, aren't you? You just don't stand a chance.
Absolutely.
I, like we've said, and I'm sure we must say it in every single show at some point or another. I wish they taught this in school. I wish they taught this in school. I so wish life would be so much more uh, calm, I think, and more accepting and more realistic, because we're not setting those huge high expectations of other people, because we can't control what other people do. We can only control what we can do and what we think. And oh well, if they did that, then it'd be all right. And if they did that, well, we can't have that. And I know we're digressing now, and I apologise,
No,
Beatrice.
no, it's perfectly
But at the
fine.
same time, if both parties are both achieving at the same time, they can celebrate. Our butter's back on track now.
Exactly, because that would have been my point. They can. Why can't people celebrate? Because this is what I wanted to say. Okay, well, I've seen people celebrating, and okay, give me a bloody break. I'm in celebration every day. I've lived this. Yeah, I'm totally honest. I'm not in the mood to celebrate. Why? Why? Because we at that stage we didn't let go. We didn't let go of what causes that disappointment and regrets and all the words that are synonyms with this. Yeah, all the blame and the shame that we didn't achieve what we um, dreamed, or everything. It could be completely overwhelming for.
And the thing is, Beatrice, you've used the words blame and the shame and the likes. It's what we do to ourselves. It's not necessarily what other people say to us.
No, no,
It's
I'm
what
talking
we
about
say
to
to
ourselves.
ourselves. And it's, we give ourselves such a hard time. So, yeah, we need to acknowledge that we've achieved something and we deserve a joy, a good laugh or a good dance or whatever we want to do, go and walk in nature. We deserve it because life's hard enough.
I'm gonna go even further than you. We deserve it to do it not only at the end when we achieved it, but on the way to
Yes.
every
Yes.
day towards that. Because
Yeah.
in that way, we're gonna build a different, I mean, just shift the energy and uh, swap, if you want, that mentality of blaming, yeah, to the mentality of encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you, but there were moments in my life when, and I remember when I was a kid, I wish I would have been encouraged or more encouraged on some aspects.
Yeah.
Because, and I was like, I was criticized rather than, and that really made me contract and.
It's really interesting you say that. And I'm going off piste again. I went to my sister and brother-in-law's for dinner the other night, and we were busy chatting. Now, in my eyes, I'm the elder sister. In my eyes, my mum and dad absolutely dote on her because she's talented. She's been all over the world singing. Mum follows her all over Europe singing and this sort of thing, right? So in my eyes, she's the golden child, right? Going for dinner the other night, Wendy says, I've had nothing but criticism. She can't see what I thought was obvious because, mum was following her all over Europe. And so it's down to perception. And it's what goes on in here that's the problem. We so easily pick up on the negativities. 100 people could say something nice, one person say something bad, and that's the one thing we'll listen to.
So that's exactly where the human design helps you, because it will show you the map that you are much more likely to be conditioned in that area. I mean, probably, some hanging gates over there that mechanically they will attract the opposite, and we try to think like
Mm-hmm.
others or in a different way that it's good for us, and we don't follow actually what the body says, and we'll let our mind overtake us. So it's such a complex and really enlightening knowledge that I have no words. I mean, every time every idea I can link it to this. Every idea, everything that happens in our lives and make us feel miserable and unsatisfied, because let's honest, we are, as a majority of people on this planet, we are
Yeah,
not,
definitely.
not, we are not happy, and we don't even know how to be happy, how to move into that direction. Yeah,
Absolutely. I totally agree with that one. But I'm just conscious of time, Beatrice.
I
Just
know.
can we go back to the beginning when you
Yeah,
said that we were doing the gates and it was a change of energy? So what's this new cycle that we're going into now, Angel?
well, the cycle is, I mean, this is not a new cycle, a general cycle. This depends on everyone's. It's specific for everyone. So it could be a new job, or it could be something, a new level in your business, or a new business, or whatever. But be aware of what holds you back. I mean, what's unfinished, and if it's unfinished, needs to be finished or need to be released. Because letting go, and letting go to the disappointments and the regrets, you just clear your energy and use this energy, the sun and earth energy now, that supports you and ground you into the energy of knowing that no matter what, life is supported. Yeah,
Mhm.
and no matter what experience you have, it's for you, for a lesson for you, or um, a stage, a new stage that it's characteristic for you, is in your design. It's the way you are supposed to learn things. So, and make from all these disappointments a reason for celebration. But this comes with each step, because if we wait till the end, we might not get that, because the
Mm.
expectations might be different to what life brings to us, and we end up not celebrating it at all. Bottom line,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Have you got anything coming up that you want to share with our lovely community, Angel?
I have
What you got
a
coming up?
wonderful new flower essence, which
Have
is
you?
called Catharsis.
Nice.
And this is especially for those who have a not defined solar plexus, because it really helps you into um, getting in flow with who you really are, and releasing the emotions which are not yours anyway. Because with an open solar plexus, you just borrow and amplify others' emotions. So knowing the mechanics would help you to understand how they work. But I want to, I put it yesterday. I'll post it on Facebook, and I'll put the link below this video, because it's a fantastic combination that really connects to who you truly are emotionally on this plan. So if you have questions, please feel free to message me, ask me questions. I will be more than happy to share more details with you about this fantastic, amazing flower essences.
I can definitely concur with that, because you're always willing to answer questions and you have such extensive knowledge. It's amazing. But Catharsis sounds absolutely divine. So, yes, yes, definitely put the link in the bottom. And for those who want to know from my side of things, I'm working on a brand new structure. I'm restructuring the whole business. So I'm
Wow.
very, very excited about that. And I've been working on what it looks like and what it should be shaped like. And I'm really excited about what's to come. But I'm going to leave it there.
Oh, that's fantastic. I got chills, honestly, hearing you saying, and I'm waiting for you to give us something for weeks and months, but that's fine. This is the right time. That's perfect.
Yeah,
And just be
absolutely.
aware that whatever needs to go, let go. Yeah, whatever cycle needs to complete,
Mhm.
be completed, and use your energy for what's coming is fantastic, is brilliant.
See, that has just helped me make a decision. Thank you for that, Angel. Absolutely love you. I think
You're
you're
welcome.
awesome. It's always a joy talking to you, Beatrice. Thank you so much for coming in. And to those of you who've been listening in, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you in a month's time.
And until then, don't forget to celebrate every step, every day. There is a reason this weekend for some of us, but it should not be a reason only for some of us. It should be a reason for everyone. So, laughter and celebration of rebirth, whatever rebirth would mean for you.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Love you to pieces, sweetheart. You look after yourself. Chat soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.